Welcome back to the channel. This is ETT TWIT. Now, ETT TWIT is Everyday Tech Things This Week in Tech. Now, This Week in Tech is about Caribbean news as it relates to technology and some international news. I'm mainly focused on the Caribbean news as, if you know, when it comes to YouTube, there are 500 people talking about what's going on in America and stuff like that. So I am trying to showcase what's going on in the Caribbean. Now, the Caribbean sometimes is not so great with technology news, and technology news in the Caribbean sometimes it rolls over. So week after week, you'll be seeing the same technology news. So sometimes it's like a struggle to find new technology news about the Caribbean. But I have some today that I'll be going through. I have a couple, and I'll be reading them, kind of giving you my take on what I think about what's going on. And yeah, so without further ado, you know, I'm a Jamaican, so we tend to start with Jamaica when it comes to the news. Jamaica tend to have a, you know, it's much easier for me to identify and find Jamaican news because I'm a Jamaican and I live in Jamaica. So I will be talking about a couple stories from Jamaica and showcasing the news as it relates to that. And the first one we'll be talking about today is 5,000 laptops for secondary path students arrive in Ireland. Now, just by the headline, I am so happy about this. Just for the headline, I am so happy. So if you're a Jamaican, or if you're affiliated to Jamaicans, or you are a Jamaican living outside of Jamaica, you probably have an idea what the PATH program is. What it is program of advancement through health and education. So program with the P, advancement with the A, T, make the true, and health and education. I don't know how no E in it. Probably I'm sure let's put an E and still call it path. You know what I mean? But yeah, so let's just get into this news and start to see what's about, what happened with the path, and you know how it's going, where they're getting the laptops from, etc. So let's start to read this news. Ministry of Education, Youth and Information has received the first shipment of 5,000 laptops to be distributed to secondary students in grade 10 to 13 on the program of advancement through health and education path. So that's what it's in the headline there. Allocation is a part of a total of 15,000 laptops valued at 900 million that was procured by eLearning Jamaica. Okay, cool. The remaining laptops are expected to arrive in February and March. Okay. Distribution of the electronic device, which will begin soon, is to be undertaken by the Post and Communication Department, Jamaica Post. Also, each laptop is to be equipped with a device management system. eLearning Jamaica is also in receipt of 5,700 tablets to complete the rollout of 40,000 tablets to primary schools island-wide. This will also have device management software installed, an anti-theft measure. Now, I don't think me even have to read anymore of this. This is amazing news. Now, you probably know. If you don't know, I don't know where you are. We are in COVID times. We are in pandemic times. And in pandemic times, we are doing a lot of social distancing. Now, the work from home, school from home is what we're doing right now. So you need devices to access the internet to be able to do this work and schooling. Now, this is really about schooling and the children who cannot necessarily afford these devices. And probably some of them can afford it and still on the PATH program. But this will give them the necessary tools to access their education. As you know, we're all doing this education thing online right now. Now, this is a big step forward as it relates to moving to the future of education. Because now that all students will have their own device, they can access information. Mind you, that doesn't mean that they're going to access the information, but they now have access to the information. You have companies like Digital and Flow that are doing their part as it relates to make sure they can access internet with all of these devices. You know what I mean? So, yo, big news. I like that news. And I am for this, and I'm 100% grateful, even though I am not a student on the PATH program, but I am grateful that, you know what I mean, the work is being put in by the government and by other stakeholders to make sure that the children or the youths of Jamaica actually have access to device so they can better their future. So amazing news. It's amazing news. So let's get on to the next one. So the next one is NIDS, which is our, you know what I mean, national identification system, which they're trying to implement. But this is NIDS will address problem of undocumented youths. Now, undocumented youths and undocumented people across Jamaica, rural area and other areas. NIDS will be addressing these things. Now, let's just read it. Let's just read it and see what they're saying. Chief Technical Director in the Office of the Prime Minister, Jacqueline Lynch Stewart, has reiterated the call for Jamaicans to support the National ID System, NIDS, noting that this will address a major issue the nation faces with undocumented youths. We have a large number of young persons who have no identification ID. Not having an ID puts you at a disadvantage, stops you from having opportunities, she noted. This national ID is going to address that type of challenge that we now have within our country, Ms. Lynch Stewart added. She was speaking at the NIDS Town Hall held on Tuesday, January 30th at the Undercroft of University of the West Indies, Mona, where concerns from youth regarding the new system were addressed. Ms. Lynch told the young people that NIDS will assist them to be easily identified and processed when they engage with members of the security force. I don't know if I like where this news is going, but I understand what NIDS is, and I understand what I call it now. I understand the good of NIDS, and I understand that there's some drawbacks when it comes to having such an ID, especially an ID that you get from a student that really lives on with you forever. And it's really privacy and all those stuff person would be talking about. One of the other things that I want to note is that this will also help persons in rural area to be able to identify them, because in rural area, a lot of roads are not necessarily roads, if you understand what I mean. It's more like a path, and somebody just start to build house on the side of them and create a situation like that. So so you have to look at it in such a way that NIDS will help to address this. So there's an article on this IRFM with Mr. Vernam from NIDS, where he was sharing his take on how NIDS will help persons in the rural area. So we're going to play that clip and you can hear it.
We are also going to fix the addresses issues in the rural areas, because in most rural areas you have a long street called Prickle Pole District, and it's a very long road. So we will use Google Plus codes to give every enrolled individual a unique address. The accuracy is about 3 meters, roughly approximately 10 feet accuracy. This is significant because the man living in a tenement yard, the separation, you will now be able to give that person a unique address. If you're a business person and you order a package, that package can be shipped directly to you and they will be able to find you.
Well, as we said, that sounds good. That sounds amazing that persons in the rural area who don't necessarily have access to certain things, you know what I mean, like a good postal services and stuff like that, will be able to gain access some form of facility or some form of system because of NIDS. So as I said, NIDS have its ups and its downs, and I am looking forward to NIDS because I believe that it is something that would help the country to move into the digital future. So NIDS, come on NIDS, start running the place. The next news now is Justice Ministry ramps up core technology with fiber optics connectivity. Now let's see what I'm talking about. The Justice Ministry has partnered with the National Works Agency (NWA) to provide fiber optics connection to 8 courts. So the connection will ensure high-speed internet access up to 100 megabytes to each location, allowing for dedicated, reliable internet access to facilitate web-based services. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck said that this enhanced connectivity is a part of his administration push to employ technology to enhance the effectiveness of court operation. As we adapt to the exigencies of this COVID-19 era of virtual engagement, unimpeded internet connectivity is a key requirement for business operation. This improved technology provides a framework for more seamless virtualized proceedings, such as court hearing, he said. I believe that this is a big step forward. It's a big step forward for the Jamaican court system. Having the courts, so to speak, have better internet. Because you know, having to go to court and to do this and to do that, it take a lot of resources. So if certain things can be simplified by the person just show up online, show up through a Zoom, and then you have the court hearing, and you know, you get that out of the way, that can solve a lot of the problems that we have in Jamaica with things being backed up in the court. So I believe that this is a great thing happening in terms of technology with Jamaica and the courts. So now let's jump on to the next one. So this news, well, it has Jamaica in it, so I guess I could call it a local news, but it's really coming from Yahoo Finance. So let's get into it. So it have a lot of, the title is kind of weird, so let me read the title, because it's a TPT Global Tech's subsidiary TPT MediaTek signs 338K PO and SaaS contract with Baywest Wellness Limited Hospital and Clinics to launch its mobile QuikLAB testing monitoring vaccination app, and its QuikPASS check and verification platform in the country of Jamaica. Now let's see what I'm talking about now. So all right, it's a TPT Global Tech Inc. Let me give you them address there. TPT Global Tech Inc. TPTW or the company yeah. TPT Global Tech Inc. announced today that its subsidiary TPT MediTech executed a $338,000 purchase order for PCR testing equipment and PCR tests and a software as a service. Okay. For PCR testing equipment and PCR tests and a software as a service SaaS licensing agreement with Baywest Wellness Limited Hospital and Clinics in the country of Jamaica. Baywest operates as one of the largest hospitals, 3 clinics and 4 nurses stations to provide point of care throughout the island of Jamaica. Baywest Wellness will also operate and market TPT TechMed, QuikLABs and QuikPASS technology platform as a co-branding partner to utterly resource business and government agency in Jamaica and the Caribbean. TPT MedTech will supply Baywest with monthly testing supply, and Baywest Wellness will pay TPT a per testing transaction fee to operate on TPT, TechMeds, QuikLAB, and QuikPASS platforms. The company believes it will take approximately 2 to 3 weeks to deliver PCR testing equipment to Jamaica and complete the software onboarding and training activity. TPT MedTech and Baywest Wellness have a target to launch in the middle of February 2021. Now, as I said, we're not normally go through the whole news, but this sounds like some really good news as it relates to COVID-19, testing, vaccination and all of that. And as I can see, an international company is helping Jamaica to move forward with this. TPT MedTech or TPT Global Tech Inc., which MedTech fall underneath. And if we can get our vaccination and or testing done at a rapid speed, and we actually can get past COVID-19 very fast, So let's move on to the next one. So this one is a nice one. It's from the Star, which is a local paper here. So this one, the headline says, juvenile facilities get technology boost through UNICEF donation. Juvenile facilities get technology boost through UNICEF donation. So the Department of Correctional Service Juvenile Service Unit has been gifted with technological equipment valued at approximately 1.9 million that will enable wards to continue to access critical services virtually. The generous donation was made possible through the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF Jamaica, under the Ministry of National Security. We transform youth empowerment and reintegration program. Items provided include 4 laptops, 5 tablets, 6 desktop computer, 6 Wi-Fi modem, 36 USB headsets, and 35 webcams. Minister without portfolio, Senator Matthew Samuda, thanks UNICEF for the support. Speaking at the handover ceremony at the ministry's Oxford office in Kingston on Wednesday, Mr. Samuda said that the donation will increase the technological resources available within juvenile facilities. Now, big news. Now, juvenile facilities. I don't know if you know what they are. So juvenile facilities are a place, you ever call it almost like a prison, but it's for juveniles. So persons under a certain age, once you get considered juvenile, you're under 18 or under 17. I'm not sure what the consideration is in Jamaica right now, but once you're considered under a certain age and you are given a lot of trouble, you are, behaving a certain way, you can be put in a juvenile facility. No, not because you're in a juvenile facility, it doesn't mean that you don't have the right to have access to information. And one of the easiest way to give access to information is use of technology. So UNICEF giving this donation of 1.9 million Jamaican dollars and giving all these technology to juvenile facilities is a big move, and I have to basically say thank you to UNICEF for doing this and donating to juvenile facilities. I believe that some youths are troubled youths, and them just need more experience, more exposure, and I believe that this farmer donation can help with that. I myself is actually working on something that will also benefits youths, not troubled youths, but will benefits youths in the coming future. So look out for that. All right, now let's get into the next one, which I think is our next Jamaica news. UNDP supports Jamaica in strengthening coordinated response to emergency with digital platform. Jamaica is innovating with digital emergency response mechanism to coordinate and track multiple demands for financial support, goods and services across government and inflow of international and local assistance in the event of emergencies like COVID-19. Branded the external support coordinating platform, the system aims to strengthen government capacity, jointly assess needs and shortfalls, and to effectively allocate resources where needed when emergencies arise. The digital platform is being developed by the government of Jamaica with the support of United Nations Development Programme Multi-Country Office in Jamaica, UNDP, and it's jointly managed by the Planning Institute of Jamaica and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. In a statement today, the UNDP said the pilot program gives enough information to support a more efficient and effective coordinated response and has a potential to address emergencies across multiple sectors as well as coordination, research, and technology. Yeah, so as you can see, another article about COVID-19 again, because you know, COVID-19 is the thing everybody's talking about and trying to move past COVID-19 and how you can use technology to enhance certain processes and create systems that will help you to move forward in this time. And that is what UNDP is helping the government to do with you know, working with the government to develop the platform to have a system to deal with emergencies when they happen, you know, whether it be COVID or something in the future, but working on systems to develop the platform to have, you know, something to deal with emergency. I'm glad to hear about that. Anything have to do with COVID and moving us forward, I'm glad to hear about that. So now let's jump into the next one. All right, so this one is from Barbados today. And I remember speaking to my friend on the first week of 2021 from Barbados, and he was talking about digital currency that, you know, Barbados and the other Eastern Caribbean countries are pushing right now, and this article is about that. Barbados and the rest of Eastern Caribbean countries are pushing for a digital currency. So let's read it and see what's going on. All right, great use of digital currency expected. The use of digital currency across the Caribbean, including Barbados-based M-Money, is set to increase in the coming months. Investment bank firm RF Holdings Limited announced on Tuesday that it had entered into a partnership with a Barbados-based financial technology company, BIT, to facilitate the acceptance of digital currency transaction across the Caribbean. Digital currency transaction across its Caribbean network. RF Holdings Limited, which manage more than $2 billion in assets, is a Barbados-based parent company of a group of investment bank in Barbados, the Bahamas, and the Cayman Islands. In a statement, RF Holdings Limited said the partnership was focused on developing a platform based on BIT's digital currency infrastructure that will allow for digital currency such as Bahamas Cent Dollars, M-Money in Barbados, and Eastern Caribbean Central Bank's Dcash to be accepted and accessed across the investment bank's product by a wider network of Caribbean clients. Anything we have to do with mobile money or moving in the future of money, because the future of money will be cards and mobile money. So the cards are going to get obsolete after a while. Just like any other technology, you used to have floppy disk, and then from floppy disk, you went to disk drive, and now we're all using flash disk stuff like a thumb drive, and sooner or later, thumb drive probably don't even exist. But that's how technology works. So the paper money thing, sooner or later, it now exists. Everybody are going to use cards, which means everybody have to kind of be unbanked. And you know what I mean? People are creating systems to make even the persons who are unbanked still have a way to access digital currency. So It's another one in the news that I am, looking at. I've a close eye on digital currency as it relates to how countries and the Caribbean move forward. I don't hear much about digital currency in Jamaica. I don't see a big push for it in Jamaica. No, some stuff is happening, but I don't really see a big push for it. But I know the eastern side is pushing seriously. International news. Now, for international news, what happened is that I realized that in international news, iPhone and Samsung has been dominating the news for the past couple of weeks. I've already spoken about the S21 Ultra and the S21 and S21 Plus, and everybody know that iPhone released iPhone 12 Pro, iPhone 12 Pro Max, and iPhone 12 Mini. Now, this news, or these two news, is really about, well, one is about iPhone and then one is about, what's going on with a app named Beeper. So let's read this first one about Capcom. So if you know anything about gaming, you'd know about Capcom, from Street Fighter to all those games from back in the days. You would have seen that logo come up when you're about to play. Now, Capcom to reveal more iPhone titles. What this says to me is that more people are getting into mobile gaming. So mobile gaming is becoming more popular. I don't know if it's because of the pandemic and you have your phone and you can just play some games on it, but mobile games are becoming more popular. So Capcom see the opportunity and I jump into it. So let's read the article. So it's Tokyo writer, Japanese video game maker Capcom Co. Limited said it plans to launch more than 10 titles for Apple Inc.'s highly popular iPhone in the year to March, cashing in on the ongoing demand for mobile gaming. So you see, mobile gaming is picking up real well. The company, which produces Monster Hunt and Street Fighter, earlier this month launched Resident Evil Degeneration, action horror game for iPhone and iPod Touch, as its first title for the Apple gadgets. Speaking at the Rota Global Technology Summit in Tokyo, Capcom Chief Financial Officer Kazuhiko Abe said sales of its Resident Evil 5 survival horror games are likely to reach 1 million units in the current financial year, exceeding the company's own forecast of 800,000 units. Resident Evil 5, designed for Microsoft Corp, Xbox 360, and Sony Corp PlayStation 3, went on sale in March, and Capcom sold 4.4 million units by the end of the month. That's ridiculous. 4.4 million units in 1 month or less than a month. That's crazy. Now, mobile gaming. So what mobile gaming is, using your cell phone to play a game, using your iPad to play a game, using your iPod Touch to play a game. And you might have noticed that a lot of persons have these devices. And if you have a device, there's more person out there with a mobile phone as opposed to having a computer. And that is the reason why mobile gaming is getting this push as it relates to, more people have mobile phones. So if more people jump up on mobile game, and then phones are getting so good, the processors, the screens, the mobile game experience is also getting better. You playing a Resident Evil Degeneration on your mobile phone, it just feels so good, it looks so good. You probably just say, I'll work with this. You know what I mean? So that's one of the news internationally that I've been seeing popping up on my feed. The next news, and this is a big news, is this app called Beeper. So this one is from Mac Rumors, and let me jump over to it. So this one is from Mac Rumors, Beeper. So it's a all-in-one chat app. Beeper brings iMessage to Android and Windows using Workaround. Now, if you know anything about iPhone and you know anything about Apple, iMessage is a big part of Apple. And a lot of the persons in the ecosystem of the Apple system, the Apple ecosystem, use iMessage a lot. Now, iMessage don't translate like, oh, you have a WhatsApp where you can have mobile WhatsApp and stuff like that. But if you have an Apple phone, Apple computer, and you have a iPad or a MacBook Pro or a iMac or any one of these things, your iMessage work across all of your computers because they're on your iCloud system, which is the ecosystem that Apple has created. Now, this company somehow figure out a workaround to get your iMessage to work on your Windows computer or even an Android phone. Let's jump into it and hear what I have to say. So, the app comes from a team including former Pearl CEO Eric Mijikowski and enables users to integrate a range of messaging service including WhatsApp, SMS, Signal, Telegram, Slack, Twitter, Skype, Hangovers, Discord, Instagram, and Facebook Messenger. Wow. Into a single searchable inbox. More striking is support for Apple's iMessage, as it is only official on Apple devices. Now, let's go over that. Look on the amount of stuff where you can have in a one inbox. Just one thing, and you get all your message them in a one place. For me, this would be ideal because now I can just go one place and find all of my messages and correspond with everybody. You're talking about WhatsApp, SMS, Signal, Telegram, Slack, Twitter, Skype, Hangover, Discord, Instagram, Facebook Messenger, and also iMessage into one place. Now, this is a next level. Beeper, when I do a bag of things. So, the app is using some trickery to achieve this, which the website FAQ reveals that an always-on Mac running with the Beeper app is needed to use as a bridge. Alternately, Beeper will ship a jailbroken iPhone with the Beeper app installed, which bridges to iMessage to users unable to use a Mac. Innovation in things, people are always trying to find a way around. If you know anything about iPhone, you'd have known that iPhone is very closed system. So having the iPhone message, which is iMessage on it, is amazing. But as I see them say, you need some workaround and such. So it's a good vibes, you know what I mean? And that is basically the last story for this episode of ETT TWIT, This Week in Tech. And yeah, another week. This week I think is not all that big, especially on the Caribbean scene. Caribbean scenes seem to have issue with like relevant tech news about what's going on. As I say, the news them seem to be one news lasts for weeks. So I don't know. Maybe I have to kind of switch the show a little bit and go more into international news. I don't know. But let's see how it's gonna continue the show and put it forward. So until next time, I'm Shango. This is ETT TWIT. Everyday Tech Things. This Week in Tech. Blessings and guidance.